everyone, and welcome on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour self-coaching model. In today's video, we are going to talk about your values, but also remember that by the end of this video, there will be a magic question. If you can send me an email, there's a link below here. With the correct answer, you will win a free coaching session using the Osfour self-coaching model with me. And welcome back on this new episode of my masterclass podcast on healing wounds with the Osfour self-coaching model. My name is Sofia Osfour and I'm a life coach, a mentor, a master practitioner in NLP and the creator of the Osfour self-coaching model, aka the Swiss knife model. But in case you have no clue what I'm talking about, let me quickly introduce what is the Osfour self-coaching model. So this model is a model that I've created that is either a process or a tool. As a process, it is designed to transform negative experiences into powerful life lessons, and basically you have to think about this model as a washing machine where you take a difficult experience that you have been through, we put it in and we go through the whole process, and by the time you finish, what you are left with is the wisdom that this experience has to teach you without the emotional charge. And when you use the model as a process to self-coach yourself, not as a process, when you use the model as a tool to self-coach yourself, there's 4 basic questions that this model teaches you to always ask yourself when you are facing a moment of crisis, such as procrastination. This was the video that I just posted on Monday. And those questions are simple. What is happening? What is it exactly that is hurting about what's happening? What needs to change? And how do I change it? Those 4 questions are connected to a skill, and the more you develop the skills, the more you can develop your self-awareness. And if you watch other podcasts that I've sent previously, self-awareness is the key of everything, because as I always say, if you don't know what's happening inside of you, then who's supposed to know? Finally, just for you to know that every Monday I send a video on my YouTube channel where I choose as a difficult situation. Like I said, the one that I just sent on Monday was about procrastination, and I teach you how to basically self-coach yourself using the Osfour self-coaching model. You have also a free worksheet that you can find. There's a link below that teaches you the basic of how to use the model. So when you watch the videos on YouTube, you follow this podcast and you have the worksheet, you basically set up. At least I teach you here the basic, but if you are interested about learning the whole model, then you can always go on my website to find my coaching package. And every Wednesday I send also I post this podcast. It is also designed to support the videos, the worksheet, but I'm trying to do something a bit new now, and always try to add up some more information and knowledge so that really you have all the tools that, in my opinion, everybody should have. That's why I created this model in the first place. But there's also other information that you can have, and that's what I'm going to do on this podcast, so that you can always, the more information you have, the more you're going to become skillful in self-coaching yourself, basically. And that was the purpose of this podcast. Okay guys, so let's start. Okay guys, so let's clarify what is your values. So basically your values are the engine behind every action that you make. And in answer this very simple question, which you can ask yourself at any moment, and in fact you should ask yourself, which is, what's important for me? Let me give you an example. Let's imagine that I just been offered a new position, but the only thing is that it's in a very, it's in a new department, and I don't really like the people over there, right? In that moment, I gotta make a value decision. Okay, what's more important for me? Is it to make more money, or is it to work with people that I actually love? And the thing is that we make values decision every single day, but because we're not aware of it, to give you an example is that, let's imagine that I would just stop in the street and just randomly stop people and tell them, okay, tell me, what are the 5 top values that drives you today? I bet that 80% of the people won't be able to actually give me like a straight answer, boom, 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 okay? And so it's crazy because if you think about it, if our values are the engine behind what we do and why we do it, then, you know, it's crazy to think that we're not aware of it. So in today's video, I have decided to show you a very simple exercise that you can do so that you can check and make sure that your values are aligned. Because here's the trick. You can have values, but unless your life is set up to respect those values and align towards those values, you could very much find yourself in a situation where you're thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Let's take once again the example of, you know, the job. Let's imagine that I have a position, but now in order for me to keep, you know, being successful or whatever, you know, in this job, I gotta push the cell a bit further more than, you know, what I think it should be, you know. Or I gotta do things that are a bit, I'm not sure about it, you know. So the problem of not being aware of your value and clear about it and also engaged towards it is that you can very much find yourself 10 years from that moment waking up one day and thinking, who is this person in the mirror and what have I done? Like what happened in there? When is it that I've lost who I am? Or, you know, the person that I thought I was, you know. Because you don't respect your value, because you're not aware of your value. Because sometimes situations, they could just take you and it could lead you from one thing to another. So here's the thing, your value are going to change very often. You know, in fact, usually I would say to people, you know, the exercise that I'm going to show you, I would please to say, do that every 6 months. The second thing is that obviously your value are not the same when you know, 20 or 30 or 40 or 60, right? So that's why you need to constantly work and do this simple exercise so that you're aware of what is your values, but more importantly, is your life set up to respect and align towards those values. So here's this exercise. First of all, you're gonna find a link below with a sheet, and there's lots of values in there. And on this sheet, you're going to choose 10 values that are very important for you today. Out of those, what you're going to do is that you're going to measure from the most important one, you know, the most important value to the least important value. Once you've done that, I want you once again to choose only 5 values, so that will be the top 5 values that are driving you today. Once you've done that, what you do is that you are going to like observe if your life is respecting those 5 values that you have chosen, and if not, then you have to think, okay, how am I going to make sure that those 5 values are, you know, respected? So you create basically a goal setting. And this exercise is an exercise that I would advise you to do every 6 months, just to make sure that you are respectful of your values and that your life is set up to respect those values, right? So this is for this exercise. Finally, you know, in regard to the video that I've posted about procrastination, and the reason I've decided to make this podcast about values is because one of the other problems you can find, you know, about procrastination is if a person is finding themselves in conflict, as in they have 2 values that are very important for them, but they are in conflict. So they're like, one wants that and the other one wants the complete opposite. So let me give you an example. Let's imagine that in one hand, I'm honestly sincere when I say that I really want my paper and my taxes to be done on time. That's really important for me. But at the same time, it's very important for me that I don't distress myself, that I don't, you know, pressure myself with things that I don't like, especially with numbers and all of this. I don't like that. So here I have 2 values. Both of them are important, but in a way they're in conflict, right? And so you have to think about this kind of situation, because those things can happen as a negotiation, right? In fact, there's an exercise you can do in NLP, but I'm not going to show you that because it will be too complicated. But listen, you don't need to go that far. you got to think about that almost as if you have two friends, right? And you are the third person coming, trying to help them resolve their problem. They both want something, but one wants another thing and the other one wants something completely opposite, and it creates a conflict. So in those times, what you have to think about is, okay, how can I resolve that so that both of them can have what they want or what they need, you know? So obviously you can't have this and this, so you have to make a choice and you have to compromise, basically, right? And this is something you can do. You can self-coach yourself, learn to do that, and find a way through goal setting. Okay, how am I going to do that? And once you have found out, just set it up so that both values can be respected. Okay guys, so this was the video for today. I hope you liked it. If you have any question or if you have any suggestion, you know, about subject you want to hear about, please don't leave me send me an email or leave me a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer it. And all I'm gonna say to you until next week is peace, love and light. Bye bye.